Thank you all so much for joining us today. My name is Andre Hill. I am the Associate Director of Admissions and Transfer Recruitment for UNC Greensboro, and we are so appreciative you've taken a little bit of time to spend with us this afternoon to learn about the transfer process, transfer admissions, and about UNCG overall. I have got a team of folks with me, some wonderful experts who are going to be sharing some more information about the university today. We're going to tell you all about who we are, what we do, why UNCG is going to be a right choice for you, and how we're going to be able to make that happen for you. So with that, I'm going to have my colleagues to introduce themselves before we get into this presentation. So first, let me start with my hero today who's planned all of this event and made it all happen, Miss Angie Moore. Angie, up to you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Angie Moore. I work here with undergraduate admissions, my main focus being adult transfer and military affiliated students. The purpose of this program is just for you all to get some additional information as well as an application fee waiver. We'll get you some additional information about that further into the program, but that's me.
Angie, thank you so much. Melissa, let's go over to you.
Hi, my name is Melissa Garrison. I'm a transfer specialist in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I know I've spoken with quite a few of you I see chiming in here, so I am super excited that you've joined us, and feel free to ask questions because we're all here to help you find your way here.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much for that. Dina, you're next.
Hey everyone, I'm Dina Kowal. I work in the University of Registrar's Office as a transfer credit and articulation analyst. Nice to meet you folks.
Thank you so much. Dina is very humble. She is a part of the team that makes sure that your transfer credit from elsewhere turns into UNCG credit, and we are so appreciative of the work that her and her team does for us every day. And then last, but certainly not least, Mr. Rodney.
How's everyone doing? My name is Rodney Lloyd. I work in the financial aid office. I'm a counselor and I work specifically with verification.
Rodney, thank you so much. Again, another part of our team. We know that, getting the admitted part done is important. Getting your transfer articulated is important. Figuring out how to pay for it is important. So we have brought together this team to be able to introduce this campus to you all and to get you all started. Just to kind of give you guys a rundown of the day, we've got a presentation we're going to go through that should cover a lot of the general information about all the things we've mentioned around financial aid, around the admissions process, around the transfer articulation process. We have our text line that is up and going so that you all can text us questions as we are going through the presentation. So we'll be able to answer those for you. And there's going to be some breakout sessions available for you all later on so that you can talk with representatives from the college that you're interested in. So you'll be able to hear from nursing, from education, and many other of our programs this afternoon. So we do hope that this is going to be a good use of your time. We are so thankful you guys are spending some of it with us. And with that, we are going to get our presentation up and going. Angie, are we ready?
Can I interject just real quick?
Please.
I just want to let our folks know that I'm not paying attention. I am also monitoring texts that are coming in. So as you are having questions, I am trying to get to those responses. So just wanted to throw it out there that if you have questions, let us know. We are going to try and answer some of the questions live at the end of the program, but we will also respond to your text. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you so much. So in a few seconds, you're going to see your screen change over. We're going to have our formal presentation that is going to get us going. And again, do use the text feature, but we will try our best to bring some of those general questions that will be helpful to the entire group out, and we will discuss them live. So you will have an opportunity to hear something that we feel like is going to benefit everyone, which we know is going to be important. I believe that Angie is bringing our presentation forward just now. Angie, if you need, oh, there we are. Thank you so much. So we've already given you our formal welcome, but this is going to be kind of our call to action in our statement about who we are and what we're hoping to accomplish today. All right, Andrew, you ready for the next screen? So UNCG is a very unique community, not so much in that we are a college or a university. There are so many colleges out there, and there are plenty of options that are out there for you. For the size campus that we are, there are many other schools that look similar to us, but we do feel unique in that the care that we show our students when they arrive on our campus, and the fact that we care about both your academic experience, your social experience, and the goal of completing your bachelor's degree and then reaching on to that next thing that you're planning to do. So we have tried to emulate that in every way that we can. Our campus right now is just a hair under 20,000 students, so we are not small by any means, but we're going to talk to you a lot during this presentation about how we work very hard and diligently every day to make sure that students are not going to get lost in the shuffle of going through our campus. Last year's transfer class was just a hair under 1,800 new students on our campus. We were really excited for them to join us from all different types of colleges and universities from all different parts of this country and countries from around the world. And we're really proud of the size class that we have on our campus right now. The students, when they arrive here as transfers, they've typically already completed a lot of the general education courses, those courses that may be a little bit larger on the front end, so that when you arrive here as a sophomore, as a junior, in many cases, that going into your core courses inside of your major is going to allow you to make those greater connections to the faculty, that you're going to be ready for your internship experience, ready for those hands-on learning opportunities that are going to really prepare you for what's going to come next. The other thing to know about the size of the class we bring in every year is that you're not going to be the only transfer student. You won't be the only adult student if you are a little bit older. You won't be the only student with veteran status or a military affiliation. You won't be the only student who wasn't born in the U.S. or maybe attended some of their college education outside of the U.S. There will be lots of students like you, and you're going to be able to find your tribe, be able to find your group as a part of this campus. Next slide, please. One of the things we know is that many of our transfer students are coming from community colleges. So for any of you may be transferring from a 4-year school, some of these things may look familiar. But for our 2-year transfer students, or maybe somebody coming from a smaller campus, these things may be new to you. So we want to take a few minutes to try to talk about them. Over 125 different programs of study. That can seem really overwhelming, but many of you already know the program, or maybe that small handful of programs that you're looking for. And to know that we have that variety here, if you are an undecided student or maybe trying to settle on a major, we hope that that's going to give you the choice and flexibility to make sure that you're going to find that thing that is the right fit for you. Clubs and organizations, there are plenty to choose from, and they're going to run the gamut from service organizations, social clubs, academic groups, honorary societies, affinity groups. Is really going to be a place for you to find a way to connect to this campus in a greater way. Knowing that we've got the courses that you need in order to graduate is going to be important as well. We don't want to put artificial barriers in the way of holding you up from reaching your goals. So with having over 2,000 classes available every semester, our goal is making sure that the classes that you need are available in the time that you need them so that you can finish the degree in the time frame that you expect. There's also going to be opportunities for the Honors College that students can participate in. Yes, our transfer students can be participants in the honors program here on our campus to really get that greater level of engagement at the academic level. Research opportunities can be connected to that, but there's also undergraduate research available across the board for all of our majors. So if the Honors College isn't the right fit for you, but you're still interested in undergraduate research, it should be fairly easy to find. And as with many schools out there, the internship process is going to be important. We want to know that as you're completing your degree, that we are preparing you for the experience that you're going to have once you graduate. So making sure that you're going to be able to go and have that hands-on learning experience, it's important, it's paramount, and we want to make sure that's going to be available for you. Next slide, please. As I'd mentioned before, our care and commitment to students is job one. That if students arrive here on the campus and we as a university are not doing everything we can to support your experience here, we've not done our job. So we've got a lot of campus offices that are dedicated to that. And we're going to run just through a few of them here at this point. So our Student Success Center is one of the offices that is dedicated to the student experience from top to bottom, and thinking about what your academic experience is going to look like every day. They are putting tutoring and other supports in place to make those things happen and to make it to be as seamless as possible. Our Career and Professional Development Center is also important that they are already thinking about your end goal. That, on the admissions side, we want to make sure that you are joining a campus that is lively, it's robust, and we want to get through all those additional steps. Career and Professional Development, they're already thinking about you leaving in the best possible way. That they want to make sure that once you get close to graduation, that you are ready for the world that's waiting for you afterwards. So making sure that your resume is up to date, that your interview skills are going to be there. But beyond that, they are also wanting to invest time in all those things that get you ready for that step. So they don't want to see you at the very end of your college career. They want to see you from day one to talk about what they can do to support your growth and your development inside of your program and make sure you're going to be ready for what comes next, whether that be higher education with a graduate degree or going into that career. The Speaking Center and the Writing Center will serve as two sides of the same coin of our multi-literacy centers for the campus. That students are going to be expected in every major to have strong speaking and presenting skills, and that writing is going to be the core of everything that you do. If you can't get that information from your brain down on the paper to show that professor that you've absorbed all that info, then you will not have put yourself in a strong position moving forward with your education. So these two centers are going to be important, and these are things that are already built into your tuition. This is not anything extra that you have to pay for as a part of your experience. As all of us are learning during the pandemic, there are more skills that we can learn and more things that we can do related to computer skills. And we have labs and training for that available on campus, again, already included in your tuition. And the first year experience, as with anything that we do, when you've done it once or twice, you feel a little bit more comfortable going into it. And going into a new campus can be a daunting task. It can be a little bit scary if we're honest about it. So the first year experience program is set up to allow students in a comfortable environment to be able to learn about the campus, all of the resources that are available, and to have a soft landing point when they get here of all the things they may be concerned about can be addressed in an academic environment, and you don't have to learn by trial and error. So we feel like it's important. We encourage every new student to definitely think about adding FYE 101 to their course schedule. Next slide, please. So with all those things that we've talked about, this campus is continuing to evolve. That we are not going to remain the same. We're not going to remain stagnant. And we have a few examples of how we have continued to evolve this campus right now. Our nursing program is really excited because they are moving into a new instructional building. I believe that is going to happen in 2021. This space is going to be fantastic for those students and really for the campus overall, because typically classes are going to be offered wherever we can. So you may even have a few courses in this building, even if you're not a nursing student. We also have continued to offer as many online services as possible. Online courses are things that we have added tremendously in a real big way in the last semester to make sure the students are going to find the courses that they need in order to be able to continue to social distance on campus. We have online degree offerings that are available, meaning that you can complete your entire degree away from UNCG, which is really exciting. There are a couple of degree completion programs out there that do require you to have a few courses under your belt in order to participate, but there are some that you can go from the beginning to the very end and never have to come to campus if that is your choice. Online advising, registration, bill payment, those things that make life a little more convenient are also available to you as well. So we will continue to invest into this place and make sure that all the things that students are looking for are going to be available. Next slide, please. So if we talked about all those things and you're like, yes, UNCG is the place for me. I'm so excited to get started, and I especially want to get my fee waiver. We're excited for you, and we are going to help make that happen. So here are the things that we need. We need your application, which you can submit via the Spartan Link portal. So if you received an invitation to this event, that most likely means that you already have one. If you sailed into the website today and discovered us, you can see the link here at the bottom of the page where you can go sign up, show us that you're interested in UNCG, and then start your application from there. We will give you more instructions in a little bit as far as how to receive your application fee waiver, but by being here at the event, you're going to be able to do that today. We need all of your college transcripts. So every place that you've gone, 2-year school, 4-year school, public, private, in-state, out-of-state. Doesn't matter if you went there and earned some credits or just took some classes. We need that transcript from that school. For any of our folks who have military service, you may have a joint services transcript or an ACE transcript out there showing that you completed your basic training and maybe some additional courses along the way, or job training. We'll need that transcript as well. So in order to evaluate you for admission, here are the basic things that we're looking for. 24 transferable credit hours, which is the equivalent of a full year of college work, is what we're looking for. So if you graduated from high school and didn't do so great, or you didn't graduate from high school, or you just want us to use your college work as the best evaluation of your ability to be successful in the long term, that's the magic number. Once we cross over that 24-hour mark, that's where we're going to focus our attention. The 2.0 GPA is a minimum GPA across the state. Our average GPA is a 3.07. So the closer you can get to that average, the better your chances are for admission overall. Next slide, please. There are a couple of special criteria, special categories for students where we want to maybe talk a little bit more to make sure you're going to be prepared. The 2+ program is for students who have an Associate of Applied Science degree from one of the North Carolina community colleges. Some of the examples of programs that are included are nursing, business, early childhood education, and a few others. Those students, if you have additional questions, my information is here on the screen. You can call me, you can email me, you can text me. I will be happy to talk with you more specifically to see if you're going to qualify for this specific program. The short story that I can give you now is that if you have a technical degree in a related area and you're going to go into a bachelor's degree in that same or similar area at UNCG, we can recognize a few more of your credits. So we're going to recognize your degree as a whole. We want to try to award you as much credit as possible, but not every single course that you've taken along the way is going to transfer. So it's kind of tricky, but not overly difficult. So I just want to have more time to be able to talk with you than I have for this presentation right now. For our second degree seeking students, I'm happy to hear from you, but you don't have to contact me directly. The main thing is recognizing that if you finished a bachelor's degree once already, and now you're thinking about going into a different career, maybe trying to improve your GPA for getting into a graduate school, we're going to recognize your previous bachelor's degree. And as long as you're going into something different than the degree you did before, you should have a very direct path as far as admission into the university. So 2+ students, I'm going to just say again, my information is here on the screen. Do reach out to me directly. If you're not quite sure, reach out to me anyway, and I will direct you. If I can't answer your question, I'll definitely get you in contact with one of my colleagues. Next slide, please. We also want to point out that there's some great scholarship opportunities for our adult and transfer students. The first one being our adult and transfer student scholarships, which are available on the admissions website. These are specific to students who are 24 years or older. The application is essay-based. You're going to see the essay topics on the admissions website, and this is going to be your opportunity to tell us your story, your highs, your lows, your successes, maybe some of your failures, some of the things you've learned along the way. And it's going to be a combination of financial need. It's going to be also including bits and pieces of your story. There are some scholarships that are specific to students in certain situations, and then also some of your academic performance. So looking at all three of those pieces are going to allow us to try to qualify students for these different awards. You will be able to email those essays in to Angie Moore, and you've got her information here. And the deadline is March 1. So if in any way you can, we want you to have you applied and admitted for the fall semester of 2021 by March 1st, and for you to have done the essay in order to qualify. There's another award here that we've been recently made aware of, the Cook Undergraduate Transfer Scholarship. This is specific for students coming from two-year institutions, and it does not limit to just North Carolina. This is a nationwide scholarship program. You have the qualifications here: 3.5 GPA or better, some financial need, and the application is due by January 6th. Looks like the easiest way to connect with that scholarship is through the Common App. You can also search the Jack Kent Cook Undergraduate Transfer Scholarship, and it should get you there. So good luck to you if you're considering applying for either one or both of these awards. Next
Andre,
slide.
just a quick note about the adult and transfer student scholarships. So there's been an issue with the form. It's been taken offline, but it will come back online hopefully within the next day or so. But if you have any questions in the meantime, you can send an email to my email address, but the form should be made available again within the next couple of days. I just wanted to let students know that, because currently it says the form is not submitting or not accepting any applications, but that's going to be updated within the next couple of days. So just keep checking, and you can always email me and we'll get it taken care of.
Thank you, Angie. I appreciate that. So lots of time between now and March 1st, so you'll have plenty of opportunity to get out there and get that completed. So if we've gone through all of these items, all of these questions, and you're still just, I'm not sure, my situation feels a little different, a little more specific, I want to talk to somebody first before I move forward. There are plenty of ways for you to connect with us. As many of you are doing right now, you can text us. There are several different text numbers that are out there. This one is the general one for our office. You can reach out to talk to us. Typically, if you're contacting us during business hours, we're going to text you right back, usually within the hour or so. If you would text us after hours, somebody may respond, or we will follow up the following day. So you should be able to reach us relatively quickly. You also have the option to email us, and that can be forwarded out to any of our staff members, and we'll respond to you and let you know. You have the option of checking your application status via Spartan Link. So if you just want to make sure your transcript arrived or your fee waiver got applied, log into Spartan Link, click on your application. You can see what's going on there. And there's also the opportunity to set up a one-on-one appointment with one of the transfer counselors. We can do a video call. We can set up a time to be able to call you via phone. But if you visit the admissions website, and at the top right part of the page, there is a Find Your Counselor link. You click on that link and then indicate that you are a transfer student, and you will see either Angie, Melissa, or myself, one of our faces there. And then you can click on that and say, hey, I want to talk to that counselor. Press that button, and then it will set you up to a calendar where you can pick a date and time that works well for you. Currently, we have 3 days of the week covered. If none of those dates and times work for you, you can always email one of us and say, hey, could you meet with me on a different time or a different day? And we will do our 100% level best to connect with you. And our calendars are pretty flexible, but we wanted to have some static days where students could reach out to us. So lots of ways to connect with us. We are waiting to hear from you. So let us know what we can do to help. Next slide. All right, so we want to talk about the fee waiver. On the admissions site here in a little bit, and we'll give you some more specifics before we go away, there's going to be a form that you're going to be able to fill out to indicate that you were here for the live event, and that is going to be how you are going to collect your fee waiver. It is very important that you, when you fill out the application, do not pay the fee. Once the fee is paid, we don't have a way of being able to refund it to you. So if you are intending to use the fee waiver, you can apply, you can submit the application. But at the very end, when it asks for payment, you're just going to click on your dashboard, and it will take you out to the front part of the application, and you will not have paid the fee. And then the fee waivers will be applied for you in on the backside in here in the office, typically 2 to 3 days after the event. So today being Tuesday, you want to give us to maybe Friday, maybe even a little bit and going into Monday, depending on how many waivers we get from the today, and we will have them all applied for you. So check your status via Spartan Link. We will give you these instructions about getting to that form in a little bit. Make sure that you get that completed today to make sure you will be able to get your fee waiver. And we know that we're glad that you guys are joining us for the info, but we know many of you are wanting to get that fee waiver as well. We want to respect that. All right. A few tips, just some reminders that the application process is rolling, meaning that my team and I are reviewing applications daily. We are making decisions daily, and we are trying to get those letters out to you as quickly as we can. December 1 is the next deadline for students who are coming up for spring. So if you have been waiting for this event to get your fee waiver applied, we are glad to now be at this date so we can get you moving and get you a decision back in your mailbox and in your inbox. If you're thinking about the fall semester, March 1 is your priority date. So getting your application in is going to get you strongest consideration. And you've got your summer dates on there as well. We have 2 summer sessions, first summer 1 and summer 2, and the deadlines are going to correspond in that same order. All transcripts need to be official, meaning that they need to be sent directly from that campus, or if they are being delivered in a physical format, they have to be in the original envelope that it was presented to you in. So if you receive a transcript at home, take that envelope, put it in another envelope, and then mail it on to us, or you can drop it off here at the admissions office. The application review will begin once everything is received. So once all of your documents and your fee or fee waiver is applied, that's when we will get started. Typical application window is going to be 4 to 6 weeks from the time it becomes complete. But I can tell you now that our counselors, we've been working hard to get caught up prior to this event. So the sooner that everything arrives, the sooner we can make the decision. And we do our 100% best not to have it take nearly that long. So do your part in getting all those pieces in and responding to any inquiries we have as fast as possible. Next slide.
Oh, go back for a second.
All right.
Angie.
Thanks, Angie. So I have done all the stuff for the admissions. I'm going to turn things over to Dina. She's going to start talking to you about transfer credits. So Dina, you've got it from here.
Thanks, Andre. Hey, everyone. Again, my name is Dina. I work in transfer credit. So essentially what that means is that me and my team, we review your transcripts and identify if any courses are equivalent to any UNCG courses. So helping you progress on your degree. Next slide, please. So let's talk about a few basics here for transfer credit. So there's two types of institutions you're attending. So whether there's a 2-year institution or a 4-year institution. 2 years, you're going to be your community colleges, typically ones that are awarding Associate of Science, Associate of Arts degrees. As far as attending those specific courses, how your credit transfers for those will differ. So not all courses will transfer from 2-year community colleges. Typically, those courses are going to be vocational courses, trade school courses, things like that. And then there's a 64-hour max limit with transfer courses with 2-year institutions. So what that means is that, let's say you take 80 hours at a community college. You can still get those courses to go toward your degree requirements, but typically will adjust your hours from 2-year schools. So you're still only bringing in a max of 64 hours at the community college or 2-year college level. 4-year institutions, pretty much everything transfers besides remedial courses, and passed and failed courses do transfer as well. For any school that you attend or any course that you take, a grade of C will be required to transfer. C- grades will not transfer to UNCG. So you want to be sure that as you're sending your transcripts, all those grades are included. And so when you look at your transfer evaluation, just be mindful of those grades. So if you don't see a course that has transferred to UNCG, you know why. And then on a second note, any courses at UNCG that we take and accept, it has to be from an approved accrediting agency. Next slide, please. So your big database here, probably the greatest tool I can share with you guys today is called TEST. That is a large database of where all the courses are, of what courses you've taken elsewhere and how they will transfer to UNCG. So if you use that link and you visit what we call TEST, you'll see course upon course upon course of all these different kinds of institutions and how they directly equate to a course at UNCG. Now, keep in mind, this database is not comprehensive. So if you see a course on there, you think it might transfer to UNCG, but you're not seeing it on there, don't panic. It may have not been reviewed yet, and so it's not a comprehensive list. We are constantly updating equivalencies, getting requests and reviews. And so if you don't see something on there, that does not immediately mean it's not going to transfer. For example, we have reviewed all the North Carolina Community College schools and all the courses. And so not all those courses are on there, but we are accepting courses from the North Carolina Community College schools. So if you are looking for a place to start, not sure, you have so many courses that you've taken and you want to see, bottom line, what will transfer and how, TEST is going to be the greatest place to start, followed by reaching out to us afterward. Next slide, please. So let's talk about the process of how to get the transcripts to us. So you can actually get the scripts to UNCG. You will want them to be final transcripts. And what we mean by that is making sure that you have the degrees awarded, all the grades in, especially for you folks who have attended maybe a North Carolina community college. We have agreements with those schools that benefit you if you get an Associate of Science or an Associate of Arts degree, as far as how it benefits and goes toward your general education requirements. So when you send your transcripts to UNCG, make sure that it's your final transcript and the degrees are awarded. For those folks who are trying to get AB, IB score credit, we recognize that the scores are listed on high school transcripts as well. We are going to want the official score reports for those AP and IB scores. So from the actual college board, we cannot add credit for AP and IB courses from the high school transcript, it has to be from the specific college board. And so you'll want to send us updated transcripts to undergraduate admissions. And the reason why that is important is when we receive your transcripts, we review your credit. It allows advisors, as we're getting these updated transcripts, to advise you appropriately to make sure you're taking the right classes and you're not taking a class that you've already earned credit for. Next slide, please. So basically, this is how the process works. You would send your transcript to UNCG undergraduate admissions. Once it is received in our office with transfer articulation, the official review of your transcript begins, which we call articulation. So you'll hear that word kind of thrown around a little bit. When we finish articulating your classes, we'll reach out to departments to see if any direct equivalencies exist. And then when your evaluation is complete, your initial evaluation, so when you submit your first transcript, regardless of whether all your courses are on there or not, you will get an email that says UNCG articulation completed. And so that will send you a link to your email, and then you can view in your Spartan link under how my course is transferred, how your course is transferred to UNCG and what course is equated to what. And so you'll want to be mindful that, if you're taking courses over the summer and you're trying to come in for fall, you're continuously sending those transcripts to make sure that your records are going to be updated and your articulation is going to be updated as you're taking those classes. After your articulation is complete and you've viewed how your credits transfer on Spartan Link, the next step is going to be your degree works. So degree works is how UNCG identifies your degree evaluation. So it's a really colorful form highlighted with blues and reds and greens, showing you exactly what you need to take to get to graduation. That's the goal, right? So when your articulation is complete, you can see all those transfer courses identified on degree works, and then it'll tell you what classes are remaining based on what you have left. Next slide. Thank you guys very much.
How's everyone doing? Once again, my name is Rodney Lloyd. I work here in the financial aid office, and I'm going to give you a couple of points of what we'll be doing here for you in the financial aid office. Next slide. So first things first, I'm sure that all of you are familiar with the free application for federal student aid, just like the institution that you've already worked with. Nothing's going to change. You're going to do your FAFSA each year, October 1. We'll download it. You make sure you put in your student code, the school code. We process those once a week. The FAFSA needs to be done every year, and I'm sure that all of you are familiar with that. If there's anyone who hasn't done the FAFSA, the counselors here are on call from 9 to 4. If you have questions while you're working on the FAFSA, you can call in and we can help you if you get stuck on a question working on your FAFSA. Next slide. Our priority date here at UNCG is January the 15th. This guarantees you to be awarded in the first slate of awarding runs, and it also has you evaluated for additional institutional aid. If you're doing the FAFSA, if at all possible, try to use the IRS data retrieval tool, which downloads your tax information from the IRS directly into your FAFSA. Next slide. Before you'll see some of the basics that we try to help you target. You'll see in-state tuition and fees, out-of-state tuition and fees, room and board, or the meal plan, which would be considered your board. These are the basics that we try to help you cover here at UNCG. Next slide. We also help you try to target indirect costs. And you'll see in your financial aid package what's called a cost of attendance, books and supplies, travel, and personal miscellaneous expenditures. We also try to help you cover those when we download and evaluate your FAFSA information. Next slide. The Spartan Card Center will help you place your books on your account. Books are not a direct charge, but you can make them a direct charge if you choose to do so. You can place them on your account, and when they apply your financial aid to your account, it'll pay for your books as well. Or if you choose to do a payment plan, you can also put your books onto your payment plan. You can do up to $750 per semester in Bookstore Bucks. Like I said, it's charged directly to your student account. You must be going 24 hours. You must allow 24 hours online to order your books. Next slide. The types of financial aid that we'll evaluate for you: free aid, federal grants from the government, state grants, also self-help aid, federal loans, private loans. We also evaluate work study here in our office. Institutional funds will also come in the form of gift aid from the financial aid office. Next slide. The UNCGenie is your main information portal. We have information on how to set up your ID, PIN, and it allows you to log in and view all of your information. Here at UNCG, this will be your main information portal. Not only will you see your financial aid information, you'll also register for classes, you'll receive warnings, immunization information will all be listed in your UNCGenie. Next slide. Once you've registered for your classes, signed up for your housing, chosen a meal plan, your information will be sent to the cashier's office. The cashier's office will collect that information. They'll send you a bill electronically, or you can log into your Genie and see your bill. They'll also set your payment schedule and your timeline. The financial aid office is also the special circumstances review criteria here. So not every financial dynamic stays the same throughout your career. So if your financial dynamics change or if your family structures change, you can come to our office and we can go to the federal government on your behalf and say, hey, we need to reevaluate the student situation for financial aid. Our contact information is at the bottom, our phone number and email. We have counselors here from 8 to 5. They answer the phone from 9 to 4, Monday through Fridays. And thank you.
So our faculty speaker today is going to be Jeff Colbert. Jeff was not able to join us live, but we do have a recorded video from him. He was really passionate about wanting to be able to share with you all today. So we're just going to go ahead and just share his message right now.
Hey there, my name is Jeff Colbert. I'm a senior lecturer in the political science department, and like I hope many of you will be in the future, I am an alumnus of UNC Greensboro, actually 2 times. I got my bachelor's degree and my master's in public affairs here at UNC Greensboro. I really wish I could talk with you sort of in person in the pre-COVID world, or at least in the live broadcast that we're doing, but responsibilities take me elsewhere, and I'm sorry I can't be with you, but I'm excited to have this opportunity to share with you for just a few minutes about why I think UNCG is a great place, and I'm coming at this as a faculty member first and foremost, but also as an alumnus. And to be quite honest, my daughter also and her husband both attended UNCG and graduated from here. So there's a lot of UNCG blue and gold in my blood, if you will. But it's an interesting place to come to, and I really enjoy the opportunity to talk particularly with adult students, with transfer students, because in many ways we share a lot of similarities. If we were together in an auditorium, what I typically do when I talk about this, I have people raise hands, and so I'll ask the folks, so I'm asking you, how many of you started college as a sort of traditional 18-year-old student? And if you did that at some point in your past, I did that too. And how many of you are considering transferring to UNC Greensboro? And I would ask y'all to raise your hands because I did that too. I began my college career at another university and transferred to UNCG. And then thirdly, I would ask how many of you are coming back to school as an adult student. You were in college, but you've been out for a while and now you're coming back. And I would share with y'all that I'm one of those too. I was in college for a total of 2.5 years, dropped out for a semester. That lasted 10 years, and then came back as a 30-year-old single adult with a daughter. I was a single dad, and trying to make some sense of where I want to go with the rest of my life and what I think I'm supposed to do. I'm pleased to say that even, and this was decades ago when I came back to UNCG, it was a very welcoming campus. And I think, to be honest, we have improved on that in the decades that I've been here. We received lots of awards for being very friendly to a variety of groups, including folks, including veterans. We're very environmentally oriented. We're very community oriented. In fact, what many of our students, if you had a chance to talk with them, what they would tell you is that for a large university, and we have around 20,000 students here, it doesn't feel like a big school. It feels much smaller. And part of that is because while we do have some classes which are fairly large, we also have a lot of classes which are relatively small because we want students to have that sense of community, getting to know your peers in the room, getting to know your faculty member a little bit. Most of the people that I know here, and this December I finished my 33rd year teaching at UNCG, so I know a lot of folks here. And the overwhelming majority of them are folks who want to be here. Most of them, at least the ones that I know, frankly, can make a lot of money someplace else, but they rather be here. They enjoy the academic life, they enjoy teaching, they enjoy research, they enjoy working with students like y'all. Whether you're a traditional student coming in as an initial 18-year-old or whether you're coming in as an adult student, again, as I came back, we love the diversity in the classroom. It really makes an interesting mix when you have older students, more middle-aged, younger students, more traditional. We are, as you have heard in multiple ways, one of the most diverse campuses in the state of North Carolina, probably the most diverse. In terms of just about every measurement you can come up with. It's not like a single, well, we're racially diverse. We're diverse in so many different ways. And as a faculty member, that really adds to the classroom environment because people come at topics and have questions from so many different directions that it really makes it interesting. And I spend a lot of time encouraging my students, even in this COVID world where we are somewhat physically distanced from each other, to reach out and to try to get to know each other a little bit because there's just a wealth of value to be learned from your peers and from the various opportunities that you have here on campus. It's my goal for all of my students, and I think many of my peers would agree with this. The way I characterize it in my classes, at some point during the semester, to every one of my classes, I'll share with my students that my ultimate goal for them is for them to become just like me. And I'll quickly reiterate, no, I don't mean old, I don't mean white haired, I don't mean, frankly, a little overweight. What I mean is, I wake up every morning not feeling as though I'm going to work because I love what I do. 3.5 decades ago, I figured out what my goal in life, what my purpose in life, what my calling was, if you will. And I've had the incredible blessing of being able to teach at UNCG now for a little over 3 decades. And I mean it quite literally. When I wake up in the morning, it's not like, oh, golly, I've got to go to work. It's like, hey, I get to go teach today. I get to go advise students today. I get to go interact with young folks today and help them through some of the great times and help them through some of the struggles that we all face. And my desire for each one of my students is not to find the most prestigious job after they graduate, not to find the most well-paying job, is to find what it is they're supposed to do in life. What is your purpose? What is your calling? Because if you find that, it may not be a wealthy occupation, but you'll make more than enough money to do what you need to do, and you'll enjoy almost every day of your life. Because the reality is, and you might not have thought about this, but you know it, from the moment you graduate from UNCG, whenever that occurs, for most of the rest of your adult life, what you will do more than anything else is work. 8 hours a day, at least 5 days a week. And some of you will work more than that. I certainly do, but that's okay because it's not really work, you know? It's a different kind of thing. Now, I exert effort. I put in a lot of work to try to make this what I want it to be, to try to be the best teacher I possibly can, to help my students the best I possibly can. But at the end of the day, I leave the university campus and head home satisfied that I've done a good day's work, that I have hopefully helped people in some way, shape, or form, that I have fulfilled for that day the calling of my life. And the cool thing is, I'll get to do it tomorrow as well. Now, we can't do that by ourselves. You have to do the part, your work as well. You have to put in the effort, the sweat equity, if you will. You have to study. You have to think. You have to search. You have to look for what is it that I'm supposed to do. But I would love for us to have the opportunity to help you find that and to help you be successful for all the rest of your life. So, in closing, I thank you for spending time with us today. I thank you for considering coming to what is quite literally my university. And I hope that the information that you're receiving from all of my peers today will be helpful in allowing you to make the decision that's best for you. Have a great day. Thanks.
So we are getting to the very end of the live session today. We want to make sure that each one of you has an opportunity to get the fee waiver filled out today. So we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to get that done. That information is listed on the website right now. There is a Google form that you are going to complete to indicate that you were here for the live session. If you need assistance with that, I believe that information is probably going to be thrown into the chat area, and you can also text us. So be sure to use one of the text numbers that's in front of you now to say, hey, I need to get that form, and we will, in one way or another, you're going to be able to get that information. We've also got some contact information here for the admissions office, for the registrar's office related to transfer credit, and our financial aid office related to, applying for financial aid, getting that FAFSA completed, all those steps that are there. With everything that Jeff shared with you, his speech I've heard so many times, but it still gives me chills every time that I hear it. And we believe in it. We believe in the experience that students, when they come here, should be able to find a space that's going to care about them, that's going to pour into them and get them ready for whatever it is that they plan to do next, as far as their life's journey. So we want to make sure that we make that process as seamless as possible, and to assist as much as we possibly can. All right. With that, I believe we should be ready to maybe review a few of the questions live here on the screen. Angie?
Thanks, Andre. So we have had roughly just over 130 questions, somewhere about there.
Wow.
So I feel like a lot of people have been have been getting their questions answered. But I'm going to go through and see if we can answer. So a text just came in about the fee waiver. So Andre, if you would just one more time talk about that fee waiver piece. One thing I will add that maybe you don't know, Andre, is that, or I'll just do it. The fee waiver is actually available now. If you are viewing us on the website, you might need to refresh your screen. On the bottom right hand side underneath the video, there is a link to the application fee waiver request. Please make sure you fill out that form. That will give us an indication that you have viewed the live stream and that you are interested in getting the application fee waiver. The important thing is, if you are in the process of submitting your application, or you were waiting for today to be finished to submit your application, it is extremely important that you do not submit your fee with your application, because it cannot be refunded. So once you get to the point where you're submitting your application, just indicate that you're going to pay by check or money order, and then give us a little bit of time to get those waivers attached to those applications. If it is the last remaining item for your application, then once it goes complete, it will move to a counselor for review. All you have to do, like I said, visit our site, refresh your screen. The link for the waiver form should be underneath this video on the right-hand side. Let's see what other kinds of questions are coming into play. So after we are done here, there are going to be some folks from our 6 schools and colleges available via Zoom for you to pop in, ask them questions at the Bryan School, HHS, School of Education, School of Nursing. We've gotten a lot of questions, great questions about our nursing department. the application process. So there's going to be some folks available there to talk to you. So just make sure once you get done viewing this, check out the links on the bottom for the Zoom sessions, pop in, say hello, introduce yourself. They are also going to have a form for you to fill out. That is so that they can contact you after. You can indicate you don't want to be contacted if that's your preference. But that is just another way for us to reach out to you. Also, if for whatever reason you didn't fill out the waiver request form, if you fill out that form saying you attended that Zoom session, it might be a way for us to help with the waiver. Other questions? There are good questions about when to apply. So Andre, if you are talking to a student who is perhaps an early college student and they are getting ready to graduate in May, they want to know when should they submit their application.
That's a great question. I'll try to cover a couple of different student types really quickly. Early college students, middle college students, if you're in high school, you should be applying right now. We have plenty of information in your high school records showing us what you've done so far. Many of you are going to be well on your way towards earning your associate's degree, and we'll be able to see that if you submit your college transcript along with it. And if you feel like, hey, I've got some really strong grades from this semester, you can always send those to us later to be added to your application. So getting the initial review done with whatever information you have right now is always helpful. And if we need more information, we will contact you to let you know. So all of my high school students under any iteration, you should be applying to the university right now. When? Right now. For my spring people, you should also be applying to the university right now. So if anybody who is graduating from high school in December and is going to plan to start college in January, you get started if you haven't already. Spring transfers, you've got about a little bit less than 2-3 weeks left to get your applications in by the December 1st deadline. So you should be applying right away. And then for my fall transfers, you can apply now too. If you have any reservation, March 1, again, is the early deadline, so you can wait and get your fall grades done and then submit your applications in early January. But there is really nothing to stop anybody who's planning on starting classes sometime in 2021 to submit those applications right away.
So we have a question about scholarship application deadlines for spring 2022. So since I am the coordinator for the adult transfer scholarship process, I will go ahead and answer this one. So the current application that's open now is for students who will begin in the fall of 2021. So if you are looking at potentially applying for a scholarship in 2022, you will want to go ahead for spring, you will want to go ahead and let's see, date wise, you might need to help me out here. My brain is working on 3 computers. So for this process, it's going to start fall 2021 and it will include spring 2022. So you will want to, when it goes back live on our site, which should be in the next day or so, you will want to go ahead and submit your application to be considered. And again, you can always send me an email. My email address is akmoore at uncg.edu. Again, that's akmoore at uncg.edu. I coordinate the scholarship process for adult and transfer students. So if you have any further questions, feel free to send me an email about that. We have just a few more minutes left. We have someone asking about the Spartan account email. Is it an email that UNCG gives us or an email that we signed up with? So for Spartan Link, that is an email address that you would have indicated on your account activation. So it is not an email address that we've provided you for the application process. It's going to be a personal email address that you have indicated. If you have questions or need help getting that information reset or changed, you can send an email to admissions@uncg.edu, or you can give us a call, send us a text. We will help you figure it out. I think most of the questions that are coming in are again about deadlines. We do have one more question I will read out. It says, if we graduated from UNCG, can you pull those transcripts or do we need to pull them ourselves? Do you want to answer this one, Andre?
I can. Thank you for that one. So if you've been a student at UNCG before, first off, congratulations. You're super smart and you're probably very attractive. That also means that we already have access to any UNCG coursework that you've already done. So unless you have taken courses after you graduated from UNCG, when you reapply to come back to do this new degree program, you're just going to submit your application and your fee, and we are going to do the rest. So we will be able to pull those transcripts on your behalf. So no worries there.
All right. So I think that's about it. If you have questions, feel free to send them in text. We're still answering those. But for now, I will say make sure you check in with the Zoom sessions. If you're interested in any of the Zoom sessions, again, depending on what you want to major in, someone will be in there for the 6 schools and colleges. Feel free to attend more than one. And again, if you fill out the form in that Zoom session, if you indicate more than one major, we will definitely contact you with additional information. But I think other than that, that's a wrap up for us. Thank you all for attending. I hope the information was helpful. Again, you have our contact information up there. We'll be answering text for the next little while. Thanks.
Thanks, Angie. Everyone, we appreciate you so much. We will look forward to seeing you in a few of these Zoom sessions. We will be answering the text, as Angie said. Otherwise, we are hoping to see you guys in other sessions that we'll be hosting, maybe with your community colleges. You may see you on campus if you come for campus tours. We are doing campus tours now. So do come out, see us, make a connection to this campus, email us, call us, let us know what we can do to help. So thank you all for spending some of your time with us, and we hope to connect with you again soon.